The upbeat background music filled the Jimmy Kimmel Live studio, but the atmosphere wasn't its usual light-hearted self. The stage lights were bright, and the audience was packed, some holding signs supporting Donald Trump while others whispered among themselves, bracing for confrontation. The announcer's voice echoed through the studio, "Please welcome President Donald Trump." Applause and boos erupted as Trump strode onto the stage, head held high, dressed sharply in a red suit. His signature blonde hair was perfectly in place, and he waved confidently, as if this were a campaign rally rather than a talk show. Jimmy Kimmel sat behind his desk, his trademark smile on his lips, but his eyes were cold. He leaned forward, tapping the desk lightly as if ready to go on the offensive. "Welcome, Mr. President, or should I say, the man who never leaves the spotlight?" His voice dripped with sarcasm, earning scattered laughs. Trump smirked, leaning back in his chair. "Thanks, Jimmy. I know you like me, even if you won't admit it." The audience stirred, laughter mixed with tension. Kimmel's grin thinned. He took a short breath and cut to the chase. "Donald, I'm not here to play around tonight. We need to talk about something everyone's been wondering." The room fell silent. "You've said things people call racist," Kimmel continued. "Like when you called certain groups criminals or defended people in Charlottesville, saying there were very fine people on both sides. I've got a list here." He tapped a stack of papers, as if presenting damning evidence. The camera zoomed in on Trump's face as he smirked, though his grip on the chair tightened. "I've gone through your tweets," Kimmel pressed on. "Like the one you retweeted from an extremist account. Or when you told congresswomen of color to go back where they came from. Do you think that stuff's harmless, or do you actually believe it?" The question hung in the air. The audience held its breath. Kimmel tilted his head, locking eyes with Trump before delivering the knockout question, "Donald, are you a racist?" The studio went dead silent. Trump straightened up slowly, the smirk still there but with a flicker of anger behind his eyes. He adjusted his tie, buying time. "Jimmy, what did you just say?" Trump's voice was low but sharp. "You think you can sit there, read a few lines off your papers, and call me something you don't even understand?" Kimmel didn't flinch. "I'm not reading dumb lines, Donald. These are your own words. Do you stand by them, or is it all fake news again?" Trump leaned forward, eyes locked on Kimmel. "You want to talk about race? Fine. Let's talk about facts. Lowest Black and Latino unemployment in history under my administration. Criminal justice reform, which helped thousands of people of color. What have you done, Jimmy, besides sit here making jokes?" Cheers erupted from one side of the audience. Kimmel shook his head. "You throw out numbers, dodge the question, and act like that's an answer." Trump laughed. "Fine. No, I'm not a racist. But you, Jimmy, are a hypocrite. I remember you in blackface for a comedy sketch. What do you call that?" Gasps filled the studio. Kimmel's face stiffened. "I apologized." Trump scoffed. "Oh, apologies work for you but not for me? You want to be a hero, but you can't handle being called out." Kimmel clenched the edge of his desk, struggling to keep control. "I asked if you're a racist, not about what you signed or what jobs you created. You never answer straight." Trump shook his head. "Because it's a setup. You don't want a real answer. You want a headline. But you messed up, Jimmy. I won't play your game." Trump turned to the audience, spreading his arms wide. "I fight for all Americans." He fights for ratings. Some audience members cheered. Kimmel stepped out from behind his desk, an unusual move. "You attack, dodge, and spin. But can you answer anything without shouting?" Trump chuckled. "You still don't get it, do you? The people see through you." The audience was split, some clapping, others stunned. Trump suddenly stepped into the crowd, shaking hands. "This is who I am," he declared. "Not your scripted hit piece." Kimmel tried to pull back control. "All right, Donald. You're good at turning this into a rally, but this is my show." Trump shot back. "Your show? You needed me to save your ratings." "I don't need you." He dropped his mic. The sharp sound echoed. Gasps filled the room. Kimmel forced a weak smile. "Well, tonight got a little hotter than I expected," he joked, but the laughter was awkward. Trump strolled off, shaking hands, basking in cheers. Kimmel sat alone, staring into the crowd, his forced grin fading. Within minutes, social media exploded. A clip titled, "Trump Walks Off Jimmy Kimmel Live After Showdown," racked up thousands of views. Hashtag Trump Fights Back trended. Supporters hailed Trump as a legend, while critics argued he just yelled and dodged. Media outlets jumped in. CNN called it, "Trump dodges again." Fox News declared, "Trump dominates Kimmel." Trump himself posted on Truth Social, "Jimmy tried to trap me. I showed him who's stronger." Kimmel's response was short, "Thanks for the ratings boost, Donald." His fans praised him for standing up to Trump, while critics mocked him. Even Ivanka Trump tweeted, "Dad owned the stage. Proud of him." Commentators dissected the night. One analyst declared, "Trump won with charisma, not logic." Another countered, "Kimmel had facts, but facts don't always win." Advertisers debated pulling from Kimmel's show, while Trump supporters held watch parties for the clips. The event didn't just end, it became a defining moment. Trump had flipped Kimmel's stage into his own. Kimmel was left with a viral moment that, despite his efforts, would never belong to him.